Have you ever stopped to think about what really makes someone smart? Most people believe it's about having a high IQ or remembering lots of facts. But that's only a small part of the story. Real intelligence isn't something you're born with and stuck with forever. It's something you build, little by little, through the choices and habits you practice every single day. The way you think, the way you react to challenges, and even how you take care of yourself all play a big role in shaping your mind. Here's the amazing truth. Your brain is not fixed. It's always changing, always adapting, like clay that can be molded into something stronger and sharper. Science calls this neuroplasticity, and it means that you have the power to guide your brain's growth. In this video, we're going to look at 13 simple but powerful habits that can make you smarter. Not instantly, but slowly, deeply, and in a way that lasts. These habits don't require luck or talent. They only require intention and practice. By the end of this video, you'll realize that becoming smarter is not about what you were born with. It's about what you do every single day. So if you're ready to grow and create the best version of your mind, let's begin. 1. Curiosity as a daily ritual. Curiosity is the starting point of intelligence. It's that simple habit of asking questions like, "Why does this happen?" or "How does this work?" Every time you do this, your brain becomes active and engaged. Scientists call this process the dopaminergic reward pathway, because asking questions and seeking answers releases dopamine, the same chemical that makes you feel good when you achieve something or enjoy a reward. In other words, curiosity is not just a nice trait. It literally gives your brain energy and motivation to learn more. Think about children. They ask endless questions because their minds are open and full of wonder. They don't feel embarrassed about not knowing. But as we grow older, many of us stop asking because we fear looking foolish. That's a mistake. True wisdom begins when we stop worrying about appearing smart and start embracing curiosity again. So, how do you practice this every day? Start by replacing judgment with wonder. Instead of saying, "This is boring," try asking, "What can I discover here?" When something frustrates you, look for the lesson hidden inside. When something fascinates you, don't just enjoy it, explore it. Curiosity is not something you are born with and then stuck with forever. It's like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. And the stronger your curiosity, the smarter and more alive your mind becomes. 2. Reflection and mental stillness. Reflection and mental stillness are like giving your mind a chance to breathe. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Nowhere you can go is more peaceful, more free of interruptions than your own soul." That means the quiet inside you is the best place to find clarity. Today, we live in a world full of noise, notifications, social media, endless to-do lists. Our brains are constantly processing information, and that can make us feel stressed and scattered. When you take even a few minutes to pause and be still, something powerful happens. Science explains it this way. When you stop flooding your brain with new input, a special system called the default mode network turns on. This part of your brain helps you connect your past experiences with your future goals. In simple words, stillness helps your brain organize your thoughts, make sense of your life, and come up with creative ideas. That's why some of your best ideas come in the shower, during a walk, or when you're lying in bed before sleep. Quiet time is not wasted time. It's the space where insights are born. Just like the moon reflects sunlight only in the calm of night. Your mind reflects wisdom when it's calm and free from distractions. Try small steps. Spend a few minutes in silence before touching your phone in the morning, or take an evening walk without headphones. These moments of stillness will make you think clearer, feel calmer, and act smarter. 3. Deliberate practice. Doing the same thing again and again doesn't make you smarter. What matters is how you practice. This is called deliberate practice, and it means practicing with full focus and a clear goal.
not just repeating something mindlessly. Psychologist Anders Ericsson, who studied world-class performers, found that people don't become experts by simply putting in hours. They improve by challenging themselves in specific areas where they are weak. When you practice deliberately, you push a little beyond your comfort zone each time. That's where growth happens. For example, if you are learning guitar, don't just keep playing the same song from start to finish. Instead, find the hardest part, slow it down, and work on it until it feels easy. Then, move on to the next challenge. This way, your brain creates stronger connections in the areas that matter most. Scientists call this process myelination. Your brain literally builds insulation around the pathways you use the most, making them faster and more efficient over time. This principle works in every area of life: writing, speaking, sports, coding, or even social skills. The secret is not how long you practice, but how focused and intentional you are. Always ask yourself, what can I do today that is just a little harder than yesterday? That question is the key to real improvement. 4. Physical movement for mental clarity. Your brain and your body are deeply connected. When you move your body, you are not just exercising your muscles. You are also giving your brain a boost. Physical movement increases blood flow, which carries oxygen and nutrients to your brain, especially to an area called the hippocampus. This part of the brain is responsible for memory and learning. Scientists at Harvard found that aerobic exercise, like walking, running, or cycling, can even help your brain grow new cells, a process called neurogenesis. That means moving your body literally makes your brain healthier and smarter. You don't need a gym membership or intense workouts to get these benefits. Even a simple 20-minute brisk walk can improve your mood, clear your mind, and increase creativity by up to 60%. That's why you often get great ideas while walking or moving around. The ancient Stoics understood this long before science explained it. They used walking as a way to think deeply and solve problems. Marcus Aurelius reflected during nature walks, and Seneca wrote letters while pacing. So, the next time you feel stuck or mentally tired, don't just sit at your desk forcing your brain to work harder. Get up, take a walk, stretch your body, or do some light exercise. Movement is medicine for your mind. 5. Deep reading and active engagement. Reading is one of the most powerful habits for becoming smarter, but how you read matters just as much as what you read. Simply flipping through pages or scrolling online isn't enough. Real growth comes from active reading, which means engaging with what you're reading instead of just absorbing words. Scientists call this process elaborative rehearsal. In simple terms, it's when you take new ideas and connect them to things you already know. This makes the information stick in your memory and become useful in real life. When you read, don't rush. Pause often and think, what does this mean to me? How can I use this? Do I agree or disagree? Ask questions, highlight important points, or even write notes in the margins. These small actions force your brain to process deeply, not just skim. Also, challenge yourself with different types of books. If you usually read about psychology, try philosophy. If you enjoy fiction, mix in a book on history or science. This keeps your brain flexible and creative because it learns to connect ideas from different worlds. Reading in this way is not just about collecting knowledge. It's about shaping your perspective, improving your thinking, and developing wisdom. One book read deeply is worth more than 10 books rushed through without reflection. 6. Emotional self-awareness. Being smart is not only about having a high IQ or knowing lots of facts. True intelligence also includes emotional intelligence, the ability to understand and manage your feelings. Emotions are not bad or something to fight against. They are messages from your mind and body. When you feel angry, sad, or afraid, your brain's emotional center, called the amygdala, becomes very active. This can make it hard to think clearly because your logical brain, the prefrontal cortex, gets pushed aside. But here's the good news. When you stop and name what you are feeling, your brain starts to calm down. Scientists have found that simply saying to yourself, "I feel angry," or "I feel nervous," reduces the power of those emotions. This helps your rational brain take back control so you can respond wisely instead of reacting impulsively. People who are naturally sensitive or deeply emotional, like those with water signs in astrology, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, often feel things very intensely. This can be a gift if you learn how to handle it. The best way to do this is by expressing your feelings in healthy ways, writing them down in a journal, talking to someone you trust, or just taking a few moments to reflect before acting. When you do this, you turn raw feelings into clear insights. Emotional self-awareness is a life skill. It makes you calmer, wiser, and better at handling challenges. And the more you practice it, the more control you have over your own mind. 7. Practicing gratitude. Gratitude might sound like a simple feel-good idea, but it actually changes the way your brain works. When you practice gratitude, you activate a part of your brain called the ventromedial prefrontal cortex, which is linked to positive emotions and decision-making. This means that being thankful regularly helps your brain focus on opportunities instead of problems. Over time, this habit makes you more optimistic, less stressed, and better at solving challenges because your mind is trained to see possibilities instead of dangers. Practicing gratitude doesn't have to be complicated. Start small by writing down 3 things you're thankful for each day. They don't need to be big. It could be a good cup of coffee, a supportive friend, or even the fact that you made it through a tough day. This small act slowly rewires your brain to notice the good, even during hard times. Gratitude won't make problems disappear, but it will give you the mental strength to face them with a clear and hopeful mind. It's like turning on a light in a dark room. The room doesn't change, but now you can see your way forward. 8. Journaling for clarity. Journaling is like having a conversation with yourself on paper. When you write down your thoughts and feelings, you take what's swirling inside your mind and make it clearer and easier to understand. Scientists call this the encoding effect because writing helps your brain store important memories and ideas more deeply. It's not just about remembering what happened. It's about making sense of your experiences and seeing patterns you might miss if you only think about them quietly. Journaling can help you see your life from a new angle. Instead of just listing events, try asking yourself questions like, "What did I learn today?" Or, "What feelings came up most and why?" Or, "Are there any habits or thoughts I notice repeating?" These questions guide your mind to explore deeper truths. Some people, especially those with Mercury as a strong influence in their astrology, like Gemini and Virgo, naturally use writing as a way to process their thoughts. But really anyone can benefit from this simple habit. It helps you calm mental noise, understand yourself better, and grow wiser with each page you fill. 9. Prioritizing sleep. Sleep isn't just rest. It's one of the most important habits for making your brain smarter and stronger. When you sleep deeply, your brain goes to work cleaning out harmful waste through a special system that uses cerebrospinal fluid, like a nightly brainwash. At the same time, it organizes and stores memories in the hippocampus, which helps you remember what you learned during the day. If you don't get enough sleep, your attention suffers, your ability to solve problems weakens, and it becomes harder to control your emotions. In other words, missing sleep can make you less sharp and less wise, even if you feel okay on the surface. Most adults need between 7 to 9 hours of sleep each night. It's better to get regular, consistent sleep than to try to catch up by sleeping a lot, only sometimes. Think of sleep as part of your learning and growth routine, because your brain literally needs it to become smarter. 10. Embracing boredom. Boredom might feel uncomfortable or even frustrating, especially today when we're used to constant noise, notifications, and distractions. But boredom is actually a hidden gift for your brain. When you allow yourself to be bored, without immediately reaching for your phone or turning on the TV. Your brain activates a special network called the default mode network. This part of the brain helps you daydream, imagine new ideas, and solve problems by making connections between different thoughts. Many of your best ideas probably come when you're not trying too hard, like in the shower, on a quiet walk, or during a long drive. That's because when your mind is free from distractions, it starts to link seemingly unrelated thoughts together, creating creative solutions and fresh insights. So instead of rushing to fill every quiet moment with noise, try to sit with boredom sometimes. Let your mind wander. This simple habit can unlock creativity and help you think smarter in ways you didn't expect. 11. Protecting your focus. Your attention is one of your most valuable resources. When you constantly check your phone, answer every notification, or jump from one task to another, your focus breaks into tiny pieces. Psychologists call this problem attention residue. It means that after switching tasks, part of your mind is still stuck thinking about what you were doing before. This makes it harder to concentrate fully on what you're doing now, and your thinking becomes slower and less clear. Long ago, the Stoics understood this well. Seneca reminded us, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." In other words, it's not about how much time you have, but how you use it. To think deeply and solve hard problems, you need to protect your focus like a sacred temple. That means setting aside times without distractions. Turn off notifications, close unnecessary tabs, and create quiet spaces where your mind can work without interruption. When you guard your attention carefully, your brain can dive deeper into ideas, see connections more clearly, and make smarter decisions. It's not about working harder, but working with a calm, clear mind. This simple habit can change the way you learn and grow every day. 12th, lifelong learning and humility. The smartest people aren't those who already know everything, but those who keep learning throughout their whole life. This is called having a growth mindset, a way of thinking discovered by psychologist Carol Dweck. When you believe that your intelligence can grow with effort and practice, it actually does. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," you start saying, "I can't do this yet." That little word, "yet," opens the door to new possibilities and learning. Humility, the willingness to admit you don't have all the answers, is not weakness. It's the key to becoming truly wise. It invites curiosity and growth. In astrology, Jupiter represents growth and expansion, always pushing us to explore new horizons. When you keep a lifelong learning mindset, your mind becomes like Jupiter's endless sky, always open, always ready to stretch further. By embracing this habit, you give yourself permission to make mistakes, try again, and grow every day. This mindset makes your brain stronger and your life richer. 13. Connecting knowledge to purpose. The most important habit of all is to find meaning in what you learn, not just collect facts. Learning many things without understanding why they matter can feel like noise in your mind, confusing and overwhelming. The ancient Stoics taught that knowledge should serve a higher purpose, helping us live better and be better people. Today, psychology confirms this. When your brain connects information to a meaningful story or purpose, it remembers and uses it much more deeply. Every time you learn something new, ask yourself, how does this help me grow? How can this make the world around me better? When you connect knowledge to meaning, your mind changes from simply knowing things into truly understanding and using them wisely. Intelligence without heart is just cleverness, but intelligence with purpose becomes true wisdom. This habit invites you to live not just smart, but fully alive and connected to what matters most. In conclusion, these 13 habits are not just random things to do. They are powerful choices that shape the person you are becoming. Every time you choose curiosity instead of staying comfortable, or take a moment for reflection instead of drowning in distractions, you are strengthening your mind. Each small decision builds a brain that is not only smarter, but also calmer, wiser, and more creative. Intelligence is not a place you arrive at one day. It's a journey, and that journey is made up of small steps you take every single day. The question is, which habit will you start with today? Let me know in the comments, because your decision might inspire someone else to take their first step too. If this video added value to your life, I invite you to subscribe, like, and share it with someone who needs this message. Together, let's create a community of people who are committed to growing, learning, and becoming the best versions of themselves.